this season is about. It's a huge chunk as to what this season is about. I mean, when you think about it, a great endorsement of the quarterback, even before the season, is the roster you built around him. A great endorsement is getting a guy like A.J. Brown. And you might think, oh, well, doesn't that mean he needs more help? Well, what quarterback doesn't need more help? What quarterback doesn't want more help? What quarterback says, no, I think we're good on weapons? Nobody. So this season was a huge bet on Jalen Hurts. All right, we're going to get these pieces. We're going to spend this money. We're going to move cap numbers around, all that stuff. And we're going to base it on the idea that Jalen Hurts is going to improve enough to the point where he'll be able to use and abuse the weapons we have put around him. And so far, this season, Jalen Hurts, as I pointed out yesterday, not only is third in the NFL in passing yards, and they're 3-0, mind you. They're not like Carson Wentz, for instance, who has been playing from behind through the vast majority of the season and chucking it up to try to come back and get in the garbage time yards. Jalen Hurts is winning, and Jalen Hurts is doing this in basically the second quarter of every game this season. That's what's really incredible to me, is that he's racking all these yards up in one quarter. Like, that's what's happening. But he has improved so greatly that he is exploiting. He is using everything around him, and he's using it to perfection. I saw somebody put out a stat yesterday about Jalen Hurts. He never had to throw to a tightly covered wide receiver. Like, barely had to do that in his, 33 throws on Sunday. I don't care. I don't care if everyone was blanketed and he was threading the needle on every throw. Now, if he was doing that, yeah, that's pretty cool. But the fact that those weren't tight window throws, as they were termed, I don't care. Because what I care about is Jalen Hurts hitting guys in stride on a slant or a crossing route or an in route, whatever it might be. I want to see him throw that deep ball, and I want to see him throw crisp passes on checkdowns, on slants, on anything close to the line of scrimmage. And he was doing that throughout the game on Sunday. He was doing it throughout the game against the Vikings as well. He wasn't able to do it as much against the Lions because he was running for his life, as we pointed out many times. But I've seen the maturation. I've seen the improvement from Jalen Hurts. And this Eagles organization bet on Jalen Hurts this offseason to improve. And boy, did he. The one thing I still really want to see is when he has time in the pocket, constantly surveying the field and going through progression. I've noticed it more this year, but I haven't had much of an opportunity to really see him do that on a consistent basis. That's the one critique I'll have of Jalen Hurts. And it's not even a critique of him. It's still taking what the defense is giving him, and he has certainly done that throughout the first 3 games of this season. And in doing that, he has made the front office look good with their acquisitions, and he's made the front office look smart, and his coaching staff look smart by still having faith in him and not going out and getting somebody else to come in and run this offense. Because he's getting a huge opportunity here to prove that he can be the franchise quarterback. And I heard Seth Joyner say this on the Jacob Media YouTube channel in the post-game show. The Washington Commanders have a quarterback problem with Carson Wentz. A lot of the things that we yelled and screamed about Carson Wentz here in Philadelphia with holding the ball too long, whatever, that's happening in Washington right now. And I don't think, and we get into this a little bit with Thomas Peterson coming up in a second, I don't think it's necessarily just Carson Wentz. I think if you're getting hit as many times as he's getting hit, you're getting sacked as many times as he's been sacked, 14 sacks in 2 weeks, that's no bueno. That's not good. That's not just about the quarterback. That's about the offensive line as well. And we talked a lot about that with Carson Wentz when he was here in Philadelphia about, these guys, the offensive line isn't holding up here. The whole offensive line isn't getting the job done for him. And that's true in a lot of cases. There was the MVP-ish season through 13 games, he was the MVP of the league. Through 13 weeks, he was the MVP of the league, and then he got hurt, and the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Then in the following year, just a crazy year. All in all, a crazy year. Year after that, somehow magically, he rallied this team through the last 4 games of the season into the playoffs and was almost more impressive during that stretch because he had nobody around him to help him. And that was the thought process. And then he got injured in the playoff game, obviously, against the Seattle Seahawks. And Jadeveon Clowney, a little bit of a bad hit on him. That wasn't called. But that was the type of game, or rather, that was the type of season, the end of that season, made you go, wow, maybe you still have something here in Carson Wentz. Following year, of course, proved not to be the case. But it's bigger than just the Carson Wentz problem in D.C. It's much bigger than that. But in Philadelphia, we have a guy, this is what Seth Joyner said, we have a guy that's a franchise quarterback. In D.C., they have a quarterback problem. In Philadelphia, they have a franchise quarterback. And that's how Jalen Hurts is playing right now. And he's playing his way already in the early goings of the season into the MVP conversation. That's not an opinion right now. That's a fact. You hear it on the national outlets, even mentioning Jalen Hurts. Hey, so can we have him in the MVP conversation? Well, guess what? Asking that question kind of puts him in the MVP conversation. He's not only third in the league right now in passing yards, as I've pointed out. He is also number 1 in the NFL in yards per attempt. But Jalen Hurts can't throw the deep ball. That conversation is over. I tried my best over the summer to dispel that, to get rid of it through the offseason, and Jalen Hurts' arm is fine. Well, now he's not. Now he's proving that it's not just fine. Oh, it's pretty damn good.